All right, here we go. I think I finally got it. Yo, what's up, Mike? How's my mic sound? Is it actually coming from my good mic instead of my webcam this time? Yeah, I know. I shut off my webcam thing on my computer for some reason. Perfect. What's going on, people? Man, it's kind of a slow start, right? Turn this up a little bit. Dude, these if you don't have one of these mics, they are fantastic. A little touch screen for the volume. Perfect. All right. Well, I took lots of notes, but it's kind of a slow start. But that second half was really good, really, really good. The Shadow Baker, I love it, dude. How pissed off was he about the pie comment? I love pies, man. Yeah, so that was a big thing. Like Mike said, Travis was there at the start. Not only that, but he was there throughout the whole thing. So that kind of makes me think that maybe he could be there next week. Like he's just standing by waiting to see how fast they get to his character, which it sounds like they're finally heading that way. Yeah, the pies. That's definitely a clip I'm doing this week for sure. So the clips I was looking about, most of them came from the second half. Fern had a couple really good quotes. The another man's trash quote, whenever she was just looting Beltran like some dude off of Skyrim or something. They didn't do a name. Did I miss that? Did anyone catch a team name? I thought they were going to do a team name this week. I was also thinking about yeah, the hoo-ha comment. Carmen, that was great. I was thinking about drawing a fat Mister. Talked about him getting round and chubby. So we finally saw Mister though. I was excited for that. I've been waiting for Mister this whole time. He's one of my favorites. I think it's a he. All right, good. Yeah, they did not. I didn't think so. Let's see what were the big things. And most of them were quotes. Sam had a really good week. He had a couple really good one liners. Yeah, Ninja Master Mister finally made their appearance. What's up, Jesus? Good to see you back, brother. Dyson Dishes. I don't think I've seen you here before. You feel like Travis is going to be there for no other reason but to watch. Hoping he gets a chance to play Blood Hunter or Order the Lycan. That's what I put that in one of my videos. I really hope Blood Hunter or Order the Lycan. I think that'd be great. I know he's been wanting to play any kind of werewolf, and the thing is, with werewolf, you could really be anything. I always thought it'd be really cool to be like a ranged person that was a werewolf, because then whenever you turn into a werewolf, you could be melee, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. Um, so I thought that'd be a lot of fun. But if he wants to go full in on the werewolf, then Order the Lycan would be great. Oh, dog, is the ending Matt's revenge for the dodecahedron in campaign 2? Very possible. Very, very possible. I love that Court of Owls, man. They made that reference. That's one of my favorite comics. I think it goes in Justice, and then Court of Owls. Court of Owls is fantastic. Both the Batman and the Nightwing version. If you haven't read it, give it a read. Really, really good stuff. New 52. Mike V the Vox Machina stuff was light, but nice. Yeah, they're sprinkling it in there, and they're in the same area, so it all makes sense. It's not like they're pushing for it. It's not like they're shoving it down our throats, but they're giving nice little nods. I liked it too. What do you guys prefer? Meat pies or fruit pies? You Big Pot Drag, you lied to us and you hated jazz. Got me. Hey, what's the hated jazz thing? I feel out of the loop. I'm sure I've missed something. What's the whole hate? I know he made a Bertrand made a comment about jazz last time, and then Fern did this time. Am I missing something here? Meat pies, fruit pies. I love both, so I'm good either way. Pumpkin is actually my favorite though. So just Bert, just in general, doesn't like jazz. Did that come in one of the one shots? I watched Search for Grog. I have not seen Search for Bob yet. So no, not a fan of nut pies. You can take that any way you want. I'm not a fan of nut pies. Jesus Laudna saying Whitestone being best place for dead people. Yeah, that was a good one right there. Yeah, Mike, I heard him say it when last week. I didn't know if it was just this or if that was a reference to something else. So okay, good. I don't feel as out of the loop then. Thanks. SA Don Vic 92. Did I get that right? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jesus Carter Jr. She said she was way behind on news because she was isolated for a long time. Yeah. So Laudna is kind of out of the loop. There was something mentioned by Imogen that I wanted to talk about. Okay, so this dream, she said she's seen these dreams before, but hasn't seen a face. So Bertram was the first time she saw an actual face. So I didn't know if that's how her and Laudna got connected. Like if her dreams are part of the connection or if that's completely different. But I thought that was an interesting comment that she'd seen these before, but Bertrand was the first time that it was that clear. So that like man, I'm really waiting. I think she's gonna have a huge payoff in her backstory. I'm really getting those Dark Phoenix vibes, the Jean Grey vibes from her, and I love that. Quantum Vector, you didn't miss a ton. I didn't really feel like they made a ton of progress. They got a lot done. It was kind of one of those setup episodes, the tweeners that you need. But I didn't feel like there was a ton. The end of it was big, but everything in between, unless you guys think I'm wrong, was a little slow. Good. I mean, good stuff in there. A lot of funny moments. Surprisingly, that send away for Bertrand was my favorite part of the whole entire episode. The stuff they were saying to him, some of it sentimental, some of it really funny. Fern is killing me. She is remaining my number one. She's my number one, man. She's so funny. Oh dog. M9 foiled. Mighty Nine foiled Matt's plans for the arc by revealing the dodecahedron to the Bright Queen instead of getting arrested. Yeah, that was one of those great moments in campaign 2 when he just gave it. It was like that moment and when Ford dropped his his weapon into the lava. Those were two of those moments that just kind of I don't know how if any of that was planned. I don't think Matt was ready for any of it, which is great. Luke Emperor felt like fluff. Yeah, a lot of fluff. I agree. And I enjoyed it. I loved it, but it was you know, the first 3 episodes have been really jam-packed. So we're kind of waiting on one of these episodes, but it was still fun. It was light. It was not a lot got done though, but that's okay. I mean, that's better than a shopping episode. Jordan Harmon Imogen doesn't like to be around people. People don't like to be around Laudna. They have a very symbiotic relationship. Yeah, 100%. I don't know if you've seen one of the theories going around about Laudna having this excess energy, excess mental, psychic energy, and Laudna possibly being able to kind of feed off of that energy, which would give them even more of a symbiotic relationship. But yeah, I mean, that's why they're perfect for each other. And man, a couple miles for Imogen's ability. That's kind of nuts. Like I didn't think it was that far. She's able to just talk to people at any time she wants, which is fun because it's not like it's overpowered like in combat or anything. It's just a really strong addition for RPing, and I think D&D can use more of that. Strong features for RPing that don't take away from combat types of situations. Carmen Steele, her mom's voice. She said she was vague about it though from last week. It was her favorite horse. The storm started at her mom's voice told her to run. So yeah, so she mentioned her mom's voice, and the big thing with her mom's voice was I felt like she didn't know if that meant her mom was dead. So I think that maybe her mom, like a connection to her mom, maybe what she's searching for. Um, and when she heard about her mom's voice and was asking questions, I think she's still wondering if her mom's dead or alive. Doesn't know if this whole voice thing is part of that. Who knows? I think that may be a hint into what she's looking for. Quantum Vector, okay, great. We need those episodes. Not every episode needs to be action and plot back. 100%. You need those light episodes. It felt human, and it explored the city. And that's what I love because a lot of us don't know a ton about this city, and it really gave me a feel for it. Like I felt like I was being entrenched and just soaking in the spires and the underground and the trading and the tent cities, and like it started to feel like a real place, and that's important. Um, if you're gonna care about something getting destroyed, you have to care about it first. And so Matt's really giving us a chance to let the city breathe and let us actually care about it. So I think that was really they're important. These types of episodes are important. The worst Jody Jody Halleck, the Worcestershire sauce line was my best pick. Yeah, for the show. And that was during my favorite part, which was the back. What was I wrote down the quote? Was it some people say death is the hardest word, or goodbye is the hardest word to say, but it's not. It's Worcestershire. Nailed it. Luke Emperor. I'm hoping Travis comes back as a rogue in this Court of Owls kind of group. That would be really cool. I have some really cool ideas for like an assassins guild, rogues guild type of thing, and this may help me kind of build that up because this is really fun, really cool. But yeah, Court of Owls, and if he's part of that, it could be a lot of fun. I'm hoping for Rogue. I'm really hoping for Rogue. Ninja Master, so it's 2 a.m. here, so if I fade out during the stream, have a great. I appreciate you coming back again, Ninja Master, man. It's fun. I always like your input. Yeah, if you fade out, have a good night. Appreciate you showing up. It's late, man. These live streams are late. It's I think it's only one for me though, so I'm hoping it's one. Hey Zeus, Big Pot Dragon. Imagine them facing a shadow creep with the dwelling coin on it. Yeah, that coin thing was pretty cool. I love how he was giving crap about losing his coin. Like it was the first time we saw Fresh Cut Grass show any kind of remorse or sadness. He wasn't as broken up as I thought he'd be. Like over Bertrand, really, no one was as broken up as I thought it'd be. But at least Dorian, I thought would be a little bit more. But maybe they're just holding it in. Ashton, so a lot of you picked that. Was it Ashton? Who's Talison's character? Talison's character didn't really didn't care, and that a lot of you picked that. So in the pre-show, so good on you. Carmen Steele, first level aberrant mind sorcerer. Distance on or telepathy with a chosen person is equal to number of mind equal to charisma modifier. That's ridiculous. There's some really cool builds you can do with aberrant mind sorcerers too. So, I'm excited to see what she does. There's a really broken stuff that you can do if you multi-class with aberrant mind. Jody Halleck, big reveal by the XU group and what they're doing here. They're starting to reveal a lot of the stuff and they're what they're working towards. So I wonder how long it's going to take for us to really get into that whole storyline. I think that maybe the second thing on the agenda, because since almost half the group is into it. Yeah, the Shadow Baker stats and fan art. Southern Vic 92. Yeah, that would be that'll be fun. The fan art's always the best, man. The time on the connection is equal to the sorcerer's level in minutes. It was the could the Shadow Baker have replied at 2 miles, or is that just her getting through to him? Through Ninja Master through are worth it if you stream. I'll be 100%. Yeah, man. Hey, these are fun. Always worth it. I think I look forward to this more than in making any of my videos. So, Ashton, thank you. It's late. My brain stops functioning, but yeah, Ashton didn't care as much as everyone said he wouldn't. So you guys were right. I thought he'd show a little more emotion, but no, none whatsoever. Like, yeah, a lot of people die. I thought he had a great line about, in a few days you'll have been dead longer than I would have known you. You forget that since it's been weeks that they've been playing together. It's only been a couple days that they knew this dude. So the emotional level is kind of right. Jesus SCG showing his real colors from the theory from last week on your stream that he actually is evil. I thought so. I thought he came out with a little more like he'll show that he's just this sweet innocent, and then has these moments where he's starting to reveal his true colors. I think there's a lot more to him than he's revealing. So we'll find out. Luke, is aberrant mind telepathy stronger than the telepathic feat? I think so. I need to read up on the telepathic feat and see what it says, though. But my guess would be very much so. Jeff J. Way, throughout the Shadow Baker interaction and them eating the pastries. Did I miss you saying something earlier? I was expecting someone to drunkenly get to campaign 2. Imagine Matt saying out loud when Laura bit into her bear claw pastry. Yeah, I thought Jester. Did anyone else have some Jester flashbacks whenever he came in with the pastries? Pastry was dusted with the dust of deliciousness. Dude, that was Dust of Deliciousness may have been the best moment in campaign 2. That was the most epic moment. It was so good. And Jester was already my favorite before that. It was like Not and Jester were going back and forth, and then she just solidified her moment. It was so cool. Carmazil. Yeah, he could. Yeah, I thought so. He just didn't, which kind of, are we supposed to get that he was kind of pissed off for her prying into his mind? Not that she can not that she can control it, but I think that's what we're supposed to get from that. To Luke, yes, telepathic feet is anyone you can see within 60 feet of you, but you can't hear or respond to someone, and it's to be a language you know as well. Yeah, so it's way stronger than that. Does she have to know the language for aberrant mind? Or can she just understand people's thoughts no matter what? Mike VSGG might be like the Iron Giant, but with his emotions rather than his memories. 100%. I get a lot of Iron Giant feel, and the art actually is not too dissimilar. So, and I look a lot to the art because they're letting the artists know a lot more than they're letting us know. I'll move this where I'm actually looking at you guys. Um, they're letting the artists know a lot more than they're letting us know. So when you look at the artist and she's making that jaw just like the Iron Giants and stuff like that, I think there's a lot to that. They're giving us more information than they actually let us know yet. So always look at the art. Carmacil requires a shared language. Okay, thank you. Yeah. I wonder. So she's human variant. Probably doesn't know a ton of languages. Half elves get some extra languages. I don't. Do we know her background? Do we know Imogen's background? Kind of give us an idea of how many languages they know. I'm sure she'll spec into get the spell or was it comprehend language or is that just reading? Jesus, yeah, it's a giant. Iron Giant theory is good, and I feel that sacrifice coming too at the end. Spoiler alert. But I think if fresh cut grass, if they are as innocent as they seem and as caring as they are trying to seem, then there will be a sacrifice, and that could very well be our first casualty in place of somebody else. First real casualty. Mike, well, we got the Dragonborn character that you had been thinking about in the pre-show stream. What flavor was that Dragonborn character? I don't remember the specifics. Carmen's never seen Iron Giant. Some people love it, some people don't care for it. Some people just know it from Ready Player One, which is amazing. Yep, she knows Marquesian. I don't even know anything about Marquesian. That's just reading. What's isn't there a spell for languages, for knowing languages? Being able to speak and understand languages spoken. Jesus says it's a must-watch animation film. I mean, for its time, it was pretty groundbreaking, especially for where it was coming from, because we were kind of late to the game when it came to animation. So the Root Trader was a bronze. Okay, so good alignment. I still like to see some neutral alignments now that we have them, but we'll see when they come up. There we go. Charles Garza, thank you. Tongues is hearing and talking, comprehend languages, reading. Yeah, I knew there was one. I should know that. I took that on my. I made a new bard that was that's a spy, and they can do that. It's all about disguising self and being able to speak to anyone and act like anything. Very deceptive character. So far, it's pretty fun to play. I only did one session so far. Mike V. Shadow Baker is a Pied Piper of the Shadow Creepers, but with pastries. Did you mean to make the pun with Pied Piper? Because they don't like pie. Draven Dresden, comprehend equals hearing, reading, tongues is speaking. Okay, so you can hear it then. And that's really all she needs to do is hear it. And you have to touch the words. Okay. So is incorrect. Comprehend language is literally meaning in any spoken language you hear. Yeah, so being able to hear it is I was thinking of something like that, but I mean you'd think as a DM I'd know more of this stuff, but I really don't. Like I've read it. I've just there's so much information in this game. A shadow baker apron. A shadow baker. I mean, shadow baker could be a new NPC that's reoccurring for sure. ESO1, can't wait to see where Travis returns. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm kind of waiting for. Every time they'd mention a new NPC that we hadn't heard yet, I was like, "Oh, is this gonna be Travis's? Are they going to find Travis's now?" But they just keep teasing us, man. Hey, anyone who's new, hey, please subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 800, and I'm doing these live shows. I'm gonna do a couple more, test out the pre-show, but pre and post show for the stream. And I'm probably gonna do one live stream during the week, but that's just general Dungeons and Dragons related. I was thinking about doing like how to create, or I like doing these videos where or these streams where I'll create a character and I'll have everybody help me create the character. So picking races, picking roll, I'll let you guys roll for stats, all that kind of stuff, because I like to have a list of characters for new players. I run a lot of one shots for people so that I can just introduce them to the game. So anyway, back to Critical Role. Shadowbaker apron with a Velcro strap to open it up and see pastries lined up. Yeah, that was really cool. Like a watch salesman or a jewelry salesman out down in a shady part of town. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Jody, just from Matt's tweet, I feel that Travis won't be back for at least one more episode. What did you get from his tweet that makes you feel that way? I feel like they're just not going to push getting to his character. I feel like they already have a spot in the story where he's going to come in. But I'm interested to see what you got from his tweet that would make you feel that way. Because he's there. I mean, he's waiting around. He's ready at any time. Hey, what'd you guys think of Sam's his new drinking canister? I don't even know what you want to call that. Ode to Beltran. All right, if Imogen took the Jordan Harmon, if Imogen took the observant feat to be able to read lips, she could possibly interject into conversations from sight range. Really fun RP. Do you think that would be stacking? Like, can't she just hear people's minds? I guess it would be making sure, but I love the reading lips. Actually, that's a good feat. I need to take that for my spy. I think that'd be really good. So thanks for that. Jesus, so Travis is CEO, so he's watching. Yeah, he's always going to be watching. But it felt like they were yelling back to him as if he was there. Did I misinterpret that? Whenever Matt yelled at him the first time, he looked in a certain space and yelled. It wasn't just yelling in the camera. So I believe that he's in the studio. Mike V just going to have a running bit of chasing Travis out of his spot every so often to troll the audience. Yeah, I think so. I think they enjoy doing that. They love trolling us, being smarter than us. Shecky Nestor, I wonder if Travis's character is going to be the anger. A lot of people think so. That's an interesting name for a non-barbarian, though, because I don't think they're going to double stack barbarians, especially since he's already played one. Okay, just a feeling, Jody, from this week. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you. I think it'll be a few weeks, and that's just more because if I was a DM at a table, I think I'd try to shoehorn it in the next week just so the player didn't have to miss or have them sit out 1 week, just for story's sake. But when you're running a show, I think it's a little different. A trench coat with slots and a go with it. Yeah, I think the trench coat would be better to reveal the goods. I don't even know how that would work. Like, how do you have fine pastries inside of your trench coat? Yeah, Charles. Yeah, he was there. He was in the intro. There you go. He was in the intro. David, my thoughts exactly. Who they're trying to find might end up being who Travis is playing. That's a lot of people think. I think it's a good theory. A lot of people were thinking that from week one. So Draven Dresden. Travis was there. Yeah, I never heard him. So if you guys heard him, that's cool. I never heard him in the background. He just so won the homage to Bertrand. Bertrand was great, and it was perfect. Perfect Sam way to do it. Caught everyone off guard. I don't know how he sneaks that in there every time. Like, does he get there early and shove that under the desk so no one else can see it? I was always looking forward to seeing how Sam makes jokes with his drink canisters each week. It's crazy how that developed. He just so won. I hope Travis comes back as a ranger. What kind of ranger would you like to see, Edis? Because I love rangers. I really like the new was it Drake Warden, and I had a theory that since that just came out, that could be a reason they waited to bring him in. But what kind of ranger would you want to see? Just Noggle magical pastries, I guess so. I mean, if you could make a palace out of a door, then and why not have pastries that are in a different dimension? John Farrell, Travis is probably the dude they're looking for. I think that's a solid idea. Mike V, imagine they give Travis the Kenny character so they never know which one is be sticking around or not. I would love to see him just die. Every 3 episode he dies, he takes a week off. I think it'd be funny. I don't think it's gonna happen though. He is someone I don't want them to bring Bertram back. It would cheapen his death. What if they brought him back as like a zombie or something had? Because I think there's some evil, maybe necromancy going on with whoever the big bad that they're chasing after right now is. So I think it'd be interesting if they just brought him back as like a zombie and they had to fight against him. Hey, this would be awesome if Travis plays some great NPC from previous campaigns. See, I think so too. I think this is a perfect chance to bring back an NPC. I love callbacks anyway, and it ties the whole world together. And we have some callbacks to campaign 1. Why not callbacks to campaign 2? I think it'll be fun. There's so much to choose from. So, even if it's just one we met for a second, or if it's one that was younger, or if it's one that is just part of something like the Cobalt Soul or whatever, which I think those were in campaign 1 and 2, though. Jesus, Duggar is the little bad behind a dwarf. Yeah. Who's Duggar working for, though? Jordan Harmon, I want a robe of useful items, but it is also only for pies. I love pies, man. Why does this guy hate pies so much? That's a great bit of acting by Matt, though. Make him Mike. Make him a kobold that may or may not die, just to find out another knife to twist. What was the kobold that died like 10 seconds in? That was one of the greatest characters of all time, and I don't know. I don't remember his name. Someone in chat's gonna remember his name. We got 32 people in here. Spurt. Is it spurt or squirt? Did anyone see that one coming? That one caught me off guard. Big pie. That's what I'm saying. Who doesn't like pie? Give me a pot pie. Give me a fruit pie. Give me a pumpkin pie. No nuts though. All right, we're going with spurt. We got 3 spurts and 2 squirts. Yeah, spurt was amazing. Does anyone here not like pie? This dude didn't just not like pie; he hated pie. Right? Pies are pastries. I mean, what's a pastry? It's something filled around something. What's a definition for pastry? Because I feel like a pie is definitely a pastry, just a bigger pastry. Dude, I went to the Ren Fair and someone made pies. They were amazing. They were really, really good. They were homemade pies. They're like that big. That big. They were delicious. Nothing better than an Aussie meat pie. What's in an Aussie meat pie? Charles Spurt wasn't even supposed to be a PC. Did he just showed up, right? And Matt said, "You want to come in and die real quick?" Something like that. Remember they did a little interview. Trevor Dredson, I'm always envious of full casters in D&D streams. I only get to play them once with the DM before I'm banned from playing them with the DM again. Why do you get banned from playing full casters? Jody, they could bring Bertrand back as a hollow one from the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, being whose soul have left for an afterlife, yet whose body still retain a fragment of the former selves. I would like to see that, just not in this campaign. I'd like to see it like in a one shot or something, since they're sending him back to Whitestone, right? And if that's where Laudna's from, we know someone there can do it. Still have no clue who her patron / deity is. Mara J, can they stick Bert's soul in a rapier? That'd be funny. Put it in the gambler's blade. Is that what it is? My local bakery puts pepper steak and gravy in their pies. That sounds amazing. I just mastered a filet recipe. It is so good. It's just expensive, but I think I'm gonna make another one this weekend. I could go for a good meat pie right now. I haven't had. Is it shepherd's pie? Or that's really good. What happened to the Gambler's Blade? I think Dorian got it. Am I wrong there? Did Dorian get it, or was that part of Fern's loot? Dude, Fern's loot was was amazing. I wish we could get the whole entire list. I hope he tweets it. NZ, is that New Zealand, Davis? There's one thing better than an Aussie meat pie. It's a meat pie from New Zealand. Did we get the recipe? Did I miss that? I like to see what's in that. David Parks, oh snap, we're about to fight. Go for it. Paper, rock, scissors. Fidget ESO. I want Travis to play a Treant. He'd be great with the voice acting and mannerisms. That'd be fun to see. I wonder how Fern would react to that, or Mister. More importantly, Dwarven Dredson, because I break the games. It's not my fault though. Anytime I want to take a spell, I ask ahead of time and want to try something weird ahead of time. Do you watch any of those videos where it's like weird combos and stuff to kind of break games, or you just come up with them by yourself? Druids, for me, druids are the ones that always break my games. Druids are tough, but here's the thing: if your DM can't work around it, then they need to get better, because you don't know what I've planned as a DM, and if you start doing stuff that's broken, then I can just bring in more stuff. Like, it's not hard. I was gonna have you face 10 guys. Now you're facing 20. Now someone's alerted. You've alerted some giant monster. Like, it's not hard. To let your players do, any DMs out there, let your players do what they want to do and just match it. Just make it interesting. Drop somebody every now and then just to teach them a lesson, or punish them for doing it in game. Just get creative. Empanadas. All right, bring it. Hey, I'd like to see a fight. Let's go. Yeah, Dorian has it. Thank you, Jody. I thought so. And New Zealand. New Zealand's gorgeous, man. I was stationed out in Hawaii. Veterans Day's over. I was going to give a shout out. Any vets out there? Appreciate your service. I was stationed out in Hawaii and had one chance to go to Australia and New Zealand, and then it was taken away from me, so I couldn't go. But I really wanted to go to both places. And I'm a big fan of Flight of the Conchords, so I play folk parody music, and they're Tenacious D, Flight of the Conchords. Murray is amazing. Been meeting, guys. Come on. Korg's amazing. What's the guy who does Korg? He's a really good director. I can't say his name. It's in my head, but I can't say his name. Anyone see Jojo Rabbit? That's a crazy movie. Gamber's Blade is a cursed item. I believe so. Yes. Taika Waititi. Thank you. Like I had that in my head, and I didn't want to mess it up. He was brilliant though. He was in Jojo Rabbit, and that's a crazy movie. It's a lot more depressing than I thought it'd be. So be prepared. It's crazy how many talented people come out of such a small island, and it's crazy how they're Polynesian. Are they is New Zealand the only primarily white Polynesian island? Polynesians are awesome, man. It's still Veterans Day in West Coast. There we go. Make your shout out. Hey, any vets out there? Appreciate you. I served with the Navy, stationed with the Marines. My 3.5 years, and you know, Army's all right too. I got a bunch of friends in the Army. Draven, most recently the DM I had, last Wizard, played level 18. Wizards get so broken, man. They're so strong later. It's an undead army to our capital city. I'd asked early in the game. One spell, Mirage Arcane, DM allowed it. And then got upset at me for destroying the entire undead army with it. Dude, so my last campaign, if you guys don't mind talking about this for a second, my last campaign, I sent my whole entire party into the ocean. And when they got in, they were surrounded by thousands of undead, underwater zombies like pirates and tradespeople that become undead. Lich raised them as kind of a protection thing. And one of our clerics just murdered so many of them. Like he was killing like 25 in 2 of his turns. I forget which spell he used, but that radiant damage just destroys them. But it was a lot of fun. So Just Noggle Navy went to Perth and Hobart, Tasmania. How was that? I don't even know what's out there. Yeah, I mean that's what undead armies are for. Driving it to get destroyed. Like Charles' book was way more depressing. What was more depressing about it? Man, I don't want to, spoilers, but that scene where he finds his mom is just heartbreaking. Jordan cleric turn undead at high levels will ruin any undead horde. Yeah, and that's why I brought it to him this early. I want my players to be able to experience the spells that they pick, Carmel, how'd you destroy an army with that spell? So Draven, how did you kill an army with it? Yeah, please let us know how you killed the army with it. That'd be interesting. If it was undead, though, they wouldn't drown. All right, he had a whole city battle plan for our group. And I, the wizard, that rarely ever did damage. Battlefield control wizard just took them out entirely. I love battlefield control. I think battlefield control and damage mitigation is where it's at. Mirage Arcane, 1 square mile effect. What's it do? I'm not familiar with that spell. Oh, we got some more fighting going on. And while they're fighting, remember, if you haven't yet, like and go watch some of my videos, like, subscribe, hit me up. I don't know where I'm at right now, but I was 15 away from 800 before the day started. So let's get to 800. Get me to 1,000 so I can do some more stuff. Make terrain in an area up to 1 mile square look, sound, smell, and even feel like some other sort of terrain. I can see some ways to do it. I'm curious to see how he did it though. One square mile illusion. Anything I want, however, the illusion is treated as real. So lava does lava damage. Is that true? Open field. Rock can be made to resemble a swamp, hill, or some other difficult or impassable terrain. A pond can be made to seem like grassy meadow, a precipice, like a gentle slope, or rock gully like a wide and smooth road. David, yeah, 778 according to my tablet screen. That's what my phone says too, but in my actual studio, I was at 780 before we started here. Let's see where I'm at. Doesn't matter. I mean, I've been doing this even a month, so I'm very happy with where I'm at. I'm just glad. I was just happy to hit 100 so I could do some live streaming. All right, it's got me at yeah, 780. Anyway, okay. So illusions include audible, visual, tactile, and olfactory elements, so it can turn clear ground into difficult terrain, which that's pretty strong right there. Otherwise, impede movement through the area. I know there's some really cool ways to make difficult terrain and then do quarter movement effects. And basically, people have to take their action and their dash just to move 5 feet. That's super strong. And then they just stand there while you uh, do any area of effect that says whenever a creature ends or starts their turn in this, they take damage. So there's some really fun combinations to do, like a cleric and a wizard. Jordan Harmon, 5th level, starts being destroy undead with a glowing circle inclusion. Yeah, I think that was it. Twice per short rest. Yeah, because he was only able to do it twice. Make things like tiny head. Just a quick example. The illusion includes audible, visual, tactile, and olfactory elements. I don't even know what that is. According to Jay Crawford, yes, that's how it works. You can drown in an illusion of a lake. That's interesting. That's another thing we ran into, which I never really thought about before, and it's something simple, but our wizard was casting fireball underwater. We're like, how does that work? But it's magical fire, so it works completely different. So magic defeats logic every time. So what I'm guessing is you can wait until they're in an area and turn that area into like a lake or lava or something, and then whoever's in that area just dies automatically or drowns or whatever if they can't swim. That's super strong. What level do you get that spell at? Let me see what other notes I took. What I thought another good quote from Sam was whenever they told him Bertrand was dead, he says it was it from old age at 7th level. Yeah, wizards after they're so easy to kill before level 5, and then after that they get super strong. Okay, the 7th level spell. Okay, that sounds better. Dude, those uh 9th level spells and stuff just get ridiculous. All right. I thought Sam's generosity of all the cities of the world, generosity is the best one. That was a good quote. And then I like that Robbie was giving crap to Liam about the coin when they had that that sound from the water tank, and people were comparing it to their phones dying. Then he said, or a coin falling to the ground. So I like that. Robbie seems like he's in with this group, especially the ones from EXU. But I feel like he's already blended in, and that's really impressive since he's been there for what 12 sessions so far. Well, DM's gotta adjust, man. Send an army from the other side. Give the army a wizard that can counterspell or turn it back into ground. Personally, I'd let it happen and give you guys a big reward for it because I like to reward my players for coming up with creative solutions. Now I just throw more stuff at them or just throw a Tarask at them and see what they do. David Parker, speaking of Robbie, I wonder how much longer they'll keep him around. I think he's a mainstay. What do you guys think? I think Robbie's there for good. So, like, who exactly can become werewolves in D&D? Because imagine if Travis comes as a Drider that's also was curses like lycanthropy, and then he called the wolf spider probably not possible. It sounds, but anyone, unless there's some races that are immune to it that I don't know about, anyone can become a werewolf. I had a character that he had the werewolf curse, and we were playing Curse of Strahd, and then was taken by vampires and was going to be offered to become a vampire. And that one was going to be interesting because the werewolf curse was still on him. But yeah, anyone, as far as I know, as far as what I remember reading, is anyone can become a werewolf. And I think and not just a werewolf, werebear, were-tiger, were-boar, I think is the pig one. So I mean, yeah, go with one of the fun ones that we haven't seen before. It said guest on his intro. I'll have to look. Was it his intro this episode or was it from the start? Because maybe once they solve what they're here for, he'll leave. But I think he's a great addition. Like, I would like to I'd like to see him stay for good. Fidget, I made a level 2 wizard once. He died in the first session due to sea rot. His name was Lenny Light Magic. Yeah, wizards die, like, they're so easy to kill early on. A friend of mine made a wizard, and all he did was defensive spells, like, for the first few spells. Episode 1. Is it still saying he's a guest? I'm gonna look into that. I think they'll still have a few more sessions until they find Oshad. I agree, Charles. Jody, werebear is the best. They are naturally of good alignment. Yeah, naturally good alignment, and have some really good stats too. So, isn't werebore a thing? Am I imagining that? Max, I slept through the entire thing on accident. Hey, it's on late. Does anyone know why it's on so late? Like, why can't they start at like 6? Like, it's a late show. Why are you starting at 9? I don't know if there's an actual reason for that. Entire thing accident. Did we not meet Travis's new character? No, Max, we did not meet Travis's character yet. I think they a couple little teases, but they didn't turn out to be anything. Joey, so if you are an evil PC, you become a werebear, you become good when you transform. I guess so. I mean, if you are a good PC and you turn into a naturally evil aligned, I think alignment's funny though. Like, you don't have to stick to your alignment. As a DM, if you're starting off one alignment, you can transition to different alignments based on what's happening. I think that would happen with were animals as well in my campaign, but it'd really be up to the DM. Karma still on the Critical Role wiki. It says guest still for Robbie. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, 7 p.m. Pacific. That seems 7 p.m. Pacific. I mean, even 6 o'clock Pacific would I don't think it would hurt who's watching it, but you know, starts at 7 p.m. for them. That's true. They're in LA, but and I guess everyone around there's lots of people around the world who are watching too, so they can't just change it for us. I mean, it's pretty insane. Like most of my Critical Role videos, 20 to 25% are American. Like so we got to get I guess I got to get out of that mindset. 25% are American. So there's quite a few around the world who are watching this stuff. I think like 2% are Vietnamese. Oh, dog, probably let West Coasters have dinner first. Probably. Well, I grew up out west, so I can appreciate that. But I mean, I don't mind staying up till 2. So, do you think Critical Role would ever run an evil campaign, which Matt trying to send the good guys to take them down? I'd, I'd like to see that, Fidget. More of like a short, like an EXU style campaign, 7-8 episodes. I don't think you can run an evil campaign for too long. I've ran a few like 6-session campaigns. My pirate one was one of the most fun, but everyone just steals from each other and tries to kill each other, and it's not stable enough to work out, in my opinion, in a long style campaign. Maybe like a thieves guild would work, but that's so narrow. But I think it'd be so much fun if they did an evil like 8-shot. Werebore, medium humanoid. Thank you. Yeah, Werebore's fun. Be like Roadhog. I think FCG might be evil. I think so too, Pod Dragon. I'm with you. I think we need to spread that around. I think FCG is I think FCG murdered their entire party and stole all their parts and maybe got his memory modified so he's naturally evil, yet was maybe reprogrammed. And then some of that stuff's kind of finding its way back in. I don't know. Or they're just lying. Like I don't think anyone's done an inside check on him yet. And that's a big reason I think they might be evil. I'd like to see an evil character. Like throw us an evil character in there from one of the players. Draven earlier in the same wizard campaign group was upset at my lack of damage output, so I changed. Man, who cares about damage output? Like let other people do damage. So I changed prepared group took a lot more damage. 2 almost died. Yeah. Like that's weird. You might need to find a better group, man. Animate objects plus disintegrate equals things died. Yeah. That's that would work. Give you ultimate wizard moments. Man, wizards are just like if you can be creative, wizards are so much fun. Jody, I think when they first started, it was because they had to work around their day jobs. I think so too. So maybe they're just keeping it because that's the way it's always been. I mean, that would make sense. Karma still, yeah, but 7 p.m. is 3 a.m. in the UK. Well, that's what I was saying. Like only 20 to 25% of the viewers are United States now, and it wasn't that way early on. So it really doesn't matter what time they start. Someone's going to have to miss out. Charles Dimension, but they also do a replay, right? That should be going on right now. Charles Garza Dimension 20 did that. Brennan was building up to when all the PCs would fight each other until a PC became friends. Matt was in that campaign. Okay. See, I haven't seen that. I did a pirate campaign, six sessions, and they did it. They did what I had sent them to do. It was really fun and really cool. And then they ended up just all killing each other, minus one guy who was in the crow's nest, who I have put in this new campaign. They haven't met him yet, but he will make a return. But he was a guy hiding out in the crow's nest, and no one realized it. And the person who was playing him just kind of kept him up there. And then he actually took credit for everything that they did. They killed a dragon. They got a bunch of gold. They relieved a bunch of prisoners, and all the prisoners thought that he killed all the people that enslaved him, and he became this big hero. His name was Turbo, and now he's got this lore behind him that he did all these great things, even though he was an evil guy from the start. But he just took it, ran with it. It was a lot of fun. Fidget, yeah, lawful evil character. Um, Big Padre, I'm not exactly evil. Something is up with him. Something's definitely up with him. There's something. He's too nice. He's too sweet. And living in the South, anyone who talks like that is lying to your face. So just if you're not from the South and you come to the South and they just say, "Oh, bless your heart," that they're talking bad about you. That means that you're too simple to understand and know. So be warned. Yeah, thank you, Carmen. Yeah, Twitch does. Parkus was lawfully. I'm gonna have to watch that. 2 rebroadcasts. Do they are both rebroadcast? Sorry, are both rebroadcast back to back, or is one later on in the week? And then Monday they just send it out again for anyone who isn't sub to Twitch. Yeah, so Don Vic, I've been thinking, going off the FCG being evil theory, what if FCG is looking for the ones responsible for his kin's destruction because they are actually witnesses to the destruction he caused? That's good. Wiping them out. That's a really good. I like that theory a lot. He just wants to wipe them out, take out all the witnesses. Mike, you want Bender to show up as one of his buddies? Why not? They could probably get the who. I don't know who voices Bender. They could probably get the guy who actually voices Bender. The Yes Man from Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas was really good, man. I thought that was uh, an underrated game, even though it had good ratings. But I thought it was great. Karma Steel, I think he started as Ellie and he slowly changed alignments. It's possible, Charles. Jess, Dancer sounds like a necromancer. See, I think Dancer is someone we know, but we're not aware of who it is because they're given that nickname. And you usually don't get those nicknames unless that's a person that we already know. So I think Dancer, we as critters already know, and they're just not. That's going to be another big reveal. So be ready for that. Carmen Sam wanted to play a therapist. Yeah, I remember reading that. He said, and so he made a new domain for him. Hard to be evil and play his empathy domain. I think. I don't know. It's possible, but there's just something about him that's off. I don't know. You're probably right. I'm just it's just wishful thinking. 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 9 a.m. Okay, thank you, Charles. Yeah, well, that's good to know, and that's probably for other people around the world. They're very aware of all that kind of stuff. Jody, well, if they have John DiMaggio as a guest, is that the person who voices him? Connor, I really wish Robbie would become more confident with the group so he can make more actions and have better scenes. Yeah, the scenes that he's had are like when he speaks up are really good. And I don't know if it's him or his character. His character seems a little bit less confident, and I think they're like ashamed of something in their past. I don't know. So I don't know if it's him or his character that's being played that way because he's shown a lot of good stuff. Do you think that Robbie's character and Imogen have a thing because they keep grouping up and they had the little scene last time with the shirts off and stuff for the guards to try to trick the guards. Like I think they're kind of growing a little thing for each other, which would be really interesting to be Travis in that situation. Carmen was born and raised in the South, and maybe I'm just taking FGG as face value. Somebody talks. It's very possible. He's playing a 7 int character. See, I think that intellect is partly to do with his memory. I think his memory was wiped, so we don't know who he was before all of this. And I have that feeling that he was just reprogrammed, kind of like that the robot that was sent to kill Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian, and then he's reprogrammed, and now he's gonna take care of him. I feel like that's something that's going on. Yeah, Carmen, you think it's Dorian, not Robbie. That's what I think too. I think it's Dorian because I really think that he's taking a lot of risks and pulling out some good stuff. And he's for for 12 episodes in, man, he's doing or 12 sessions in. I think he's doing amazing. But I think Dorian is where you're getting that no confidence feed from. Yeah, Don Vick. Well, Dorian was hesitant about going back to market. Dorian's hesitant about everything, though. Like there's something going on with him. Like that's really cool. Everyone's kind of got something going on, except for maybe Talison's character. David, I hope Dorian can channel how he was in EXU. I think he will. Um, Connor, you think he's quieter in the group? Well, there's less people in EXU. What was there? 6 players in EXU, and now there's 8. And I mean, 2 more people is a big deal when it comes to role playing. And Matt's doing a fantastic job, by the way. And you saw Dorian had more moments in this one, is because there's 7 people at the table. 8 people at the table is a lot. Like I hesitate to let 6 people at the table, and I always have more people I want to invite in, but I hesitate to have 6 people at the table because that's a lot to handle. It's just not time. Like I like 4. I think 4 is good, so everyone kind of get the role playing in. So to have 8 people at the table, let all of them have their moments, like that's a really tough thing to balance. Mike or maybe Doug or a follower of Archon somehow. That'd be cool. That would be say bring back some of the baddies, man. Callbacks to the baddies. I think that'd be good. Do you think enough people watch season 1? I feel like a lot of people came in campaign 2. And season 1's really tough to go back and watch. Season 1's really like there's some really cool moments, and it's really like I'm going back through it. And I don't know if it's just the sound quality of the really early ones episodes, but it's there's a lot to trudge through. Carmacil, Ashton killed FCG's group, and it was a one-eyed monster. Ashton has one eye. That's not a bad theory. I mean, why doesn't Ashton kill them all and then just reprogram uh, FCG? I think that works. I didn't even think about that one. Don Vic, I think it has to do with the reason he left Marquette in the first place. Any theories on why he left Marquette in the first place? I feel like Dorian ran away from home and he's trying to not draw attention to himself. I agree, but he needs to be wearing some lesser clothes unless he was kind of poor whenever he came in, and now he's dressed up to kind of disguise himself as someone who's kind of more of a big deal. But he should be wearing a hood or something and be hiding himself a little bit better. Big Pod Dragon 8 is an absolute max. That's 8's too much for me. 4 is the sweet spot. I agree, man. 4 is sweet spot. 5 still good. 3 is even fine. Like I've had some really good intense sessions with 3, and 5 isn't that much worth. But 4 is good. I like 4, and 4 is good because you can bring in 1 or 2 guests. I like to bring in guests, friends who kind of help bring the plot along. People who can't play as much, but would like to play some here and there. Mike, they'd have to include the campaign 1 references and stuff around the same time that the cartoon is shown, so people could know it faster. It's a good point. I'm doing it. Who's excited for the cartoon, the animated series? Like, it's a lot more adult than I thought it'd be, though. Like, I feel like they cuss more in that what they've shown in that show than they do in the actual show by like a mile. But then again, the 4 hours that it takes for the show for the stream is probably only like 15 minutes in the show. I would if the completionist and me would let me. We got any completionists in here? I played too many video games to be a completionist, man. That's not in me anymore. Garmin only have partial Orion before the Briarwoods arc. Starts with Whitestone. Yeah, Briarwood arc's really good. I'm excited to see uh, Percy in that one. I don't remember some people don't like uh how dirty it seems to be, but they were kind of hoping for more of like a 90s kids style. But I mean, I think it's gonna be great. I'm still he only has a few bad interactions in my opinion. It only gets grading at the end of his time with them. He did it on the video game front, but this I feel like I need to watch. Yeah, I think it's nice because you don't have to watch everything to get what's going on now, but it's a bonus. Like I feel like you're rewarded if you have watched it, and it's worth watching anyway. So, Charles, I think Campaign One was hard to get into is because they started streaming when they were 10 levels and hundreds of hours in play. And that's what's crazy is they come in. It feels like halfway through they've already had a ton of adventure, and they still go through so much before the end of the campaign. Yeah, it's tough when you don't get that introduction, and I really wish they would have went back. And I know they did a lot with the comic books. If you guys have read the comic books, they're good. They're worth going through for sure. Yeah, we can only wait to see how much Tiberius is in the show. I like Tiberius. He was a bit much, but I still liked him. Don Vic, I think Dorian escapes from succeeding a royal responsibility and wanted to escape and explore the world. That's a really good theory. I haven't seen that one. Are there royal what's his race? Is he like an air genasi or something? I'm blanking on what his race is. But he's definitely from some sort of wealth. Yeah, I agree with you, Charles. That's what the show's going to be for. It's just going to be good. I think it's so cool that for those of you who don't know, it was supposed to be like a Christmas special, and they just got so much support right away that it quickly became a full show. Gradually, I think it was like 6 episodes and the full season. Tiberius isn't the show at all. What do you think that is, Draven? Like, is it just because they want to keep himself separated from him? Air Genasi. Yeah, I was right. I don't know why I doubt myself so much. Air Genasi. The whole Genasi races are cool. We had a warlock that was a water Genasi that had the patron was basically like the Kraken, our version of the Kraken. And that was a lot of fun. All right, David. So they announced in the QAs he won't be back in. Did they say why he won't be back in? Jody, when was it established that he was royalty? I may have missed it. I'll admit, I kind of like 75% paid attention during EXU. And that honestly, Matt Mercer's character was my favorite. It was implied that Doran's royalty. Like we talking like lordships or higher than that? And where do we know that Genasis are royalty? Okay, so it's an EXU drop. That's probably why I didn't catch it then, because I paid attention, but I feel like I missed some stuff watching through that one. Middle child or royalty. Yeah, who cares about middle kids? Some sort of prince. What royalty do we know? I don't know where the Genasi are from in Exandria. I gotta brush up on my lore. They haven't spoken for why, but it's likely just because of how the split up happened. Man, and how awful would it feel to leave the way he left? That whole split up happens, and then it just blows up. Critical Role blows up. Like you gotta feel bad. Like it's gotta feel really bad for that to be that guy. Karma Steel, pretty sure because of how Orion was cut off, he's not associated with Critical Role. Yeah, for sure. The company, the way he insisted that Tiberius was his creation and refused to let the rights go. Not sure how. I just don't. I don't get that. Like, I don't see how people can hold grudges over such small things and let them blow up to be big things. He kept mentioning that his brother was much better than him. A lot of things. Okay, I'll have to go back and look through that. Carmen ended up with the in the comic. Yeah, so he was in the comic. Um, it's definitely a rights thing. The comic started back before Critical Role became corporate. Okay, so were they still part of Geek and Sundry when all that happened and went down? Because remember they got the comic started pretty early. Yeah, that's just sad, man. Because the whole cast just seems like such a good group of people. Like voice actors in general, I love more than actors anyway. Like it seems like the best, like Mark Hamill and stuff. It seems like the best of actors go that route anyway, just because of how much better the environment is than the Hollywood environment. But I mean, they just seem like a good group of people. But they're actors, so they could be lying to us. Who knows? I just don't see how you can't make up with the group like that, especially with just how big the show is, man. Okay, yeah, comic was attached to Geek and Sundry. I thought it was that early, but who knows? David Wright. I wish I had friends like that. I mean, how cool would it be to play Dungeons and Dragons as your job? Like, and then watching like this cartoon have this animated series happen where you're you've had so much in the creative process of that. You created that character. You where it was just a natural development um, that turns into a script, that turns into a show, that you have some amazing animators put to life. Like, and we know how much like Travis and Laura just love animation. Like, a big reason they're together is because he was just pushing to be on Dragon Ball Z just because he wanted to be on Dragon Ball Z. It's nuts, man. All right, episode 1 of EXU mentions Dorian is from some place called the Silken Squall. Yep, I have no idea where that's at. Jerry Lolth taunts Dorian by saying, "This is why your brother was meant to lead. He was born to it. You just get in the way. You're always in the way. Just a little bard tooting his flute." Okay. Well, now I don't have to look it up. Thank you very much. Hey, Reddit. That's where it's all at, man. A lot of good information there. I'm not that kind of nerd. I wish I had the brain capacity for that. I'm not that kind of nerd that just can track all that information. So I'm glad we have other nerds that'll do that for us. Mike, would make sense if Dorian's family as like an old noble type with maybe connections to broomstone mining and airship productions. I'd like to see some more airship stuff. They keep mentioning it, so airship pirates and airship battles would be fun. Get some more of that action going on. All right, well, it's been over an hour, so I'm head out here in a few minutes. I appreciate you guys hanging out, staying up, talking. Um, I don't know how many of you are outside of the old U.S. and it's not that late for you, but I appreciate anyone who's here. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna keep doing this. So, like I said, sub me up so you can get that notification. And if you don't want to, I'll start it up usually a couple minutes after the stream ends. Um, I'm getting my OBS software figured out. Hello from Sydney. Hey, back to you, man. I'm gonna make my way out there. Make my way. I'll make my way out there sometime. Jody from Canada. Where in Canada? Oh, I've been to Ontario and Alberta. Big wrestling fan, so Alberta's got some history for me. But Canadians are great. There you go. Hawaii, all right. Where you, what island you on, Mike? I was on Oahu, over in Kailua town. I befriended some locals, and they took me to some of the greatest places. There's a place out by Kailua where you literally have 20, 30 sea turtles, and they'll come right up. Maui's beautiful. I did my honeymoon out in Maui. It's a beautiful island, man. Do you ever miss the seasons? Yeah, Jody Brett, the Hitman Hart, the whole Hart Foundation. That's some really cool stuff with the Owen Hart Foundation. Actually, that is the AEW's taken over. So stay tuned for that. They're finally going to put them in some video games and get some real good money to that whole foundation. So 9 p.m. Lucky. Well, so what time does the show start for you, David? Yeah, Mike. We snorkeled outside of David Bowie's. We did a bunch of snorkeling outside of David Bowie's house. There's that whole strip. I think Oprah had just built her like $40 million mansion out there, and we took some kayaks and did some snorkeling out there, and we had like 20 or 30 spinner dolphins come like right under us and start flipping over us and stuff. It was amazing. I love Maui, man. I love Hawaii. I want to go back. Starts 4:30 for you. That's a good start time. That's a real good start time. Yeah, I gotta make them. I like the Big Island a lot too. A lot of people don't know the like Big Island. Just going up to the top and just stargazing, man. It's ridiculous. Like it makes you feel real small. David, not 100% sure, but mid afternoonish, 2:30. Yeah, it'd be rough if you're working at that time, but you can catch the reruns and stuff. All right, hey, I appreciate you guys sticking around, hanging out. We'll see you all next week. Next, they're doing it next Thursday, right? When's the first? There's a Thursday in November. They're not doing it. Is it the third one? That's when they're going to start doing every fourth one. They're not going or something. But yeah, good night, good morning. I appreciate you guys, and I don't think there's any girls in here. Any girls in here? Appreciate you females as well. Um, Yeah, we'll catch you next week. Yeah, last Thursday of the month. Thank you. I think that matches up with Thanksgiving, so that works. But all right, guys, have a good one.